And it wasn't just art that you had at your disposal. I mean, you had a utility belt of players you got to play with. So much so, y'all were called the Fun Bunch, which I think is one of the best names that a group in the NFL has. Man, how valuable was it to have that brotherhood? Because you mentioned learning from players. Wow, you got to play with some of the best ever. How valuable was that brotherhood you had with the Fun Bunch?
That was actually great. I mean, it,
Mm,
it kind of started back the year that Joe Gibbs' first year, when players kind of joke with each other and call people names and this, that, and the other. Um, and tell you another story where part of it came from. I don't know if you remember the name Terry Metcalf. Well, Terry Metcalf and I would always call each other short this and short that. And true enough, he was taller than I am. And one day he called me a Smurf. I said, Smurf, what is it? What is that? He said, you don't know what that is? He says, go home and on Saturday morning, you turn the television on and you'll see these little blue people and you'll see what I'm talking about. I went home and I did that. I came back and I gave him his props. He said, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. You got me on that one. So that kind of stuck with me because I became Papa Smurf since I was the first Smurf. And then Alvin and Charlie Brown were the other Smurfs. So we learning from Charlie. Charlie got the long arms, came from South Carolina State, and he does the he can catch the ball as well. Then you got Alvin, who is the shorter of the Smurfs, but he did some thing on the field as well. And then you got Art, of course, and then Rick, because Rick was a he's a guy that gets things going, and once it gets going, it just takes off from there. And Otis Swansley was also part of the fun bunch, but yeah, we all poke fun at each other to keep each other um, ready to play, and we did a good job of that. And we kind of came up with this I don't want to call it a dance, this whatever it is, and
celebration, maybe?
celebration. Came up with the celebration, and we decided we were going to break it out, um, and we did, and it kind of took off. And but the one of the things that happened is I can't remember who it was that scored first, and we were supposed to come down and do our celebration, and person forgot. Happened again, person forgot. And then the third time we had an opportunity to jump, and we jumped, and that took off. That it really took off, and the fans loved it, and we loved giving it to the fans. So every time that one of the Fun Bunch members scored, it was on. It was really on, and it was a great time. It was a great time.
And that is so special because when I hear people like you talk about, even Gary talk about it, Santana Moss talk about your guys' height and your size during that time. A 5'8", 5'9" receiver is not really rare these days, right? Like you see guys all different sizes playing that position, but back when you did it, it was almost unheard of. Did
Yeah.
you realize what you were doing at that time? Because I feel like guys like yourself who were undersized receivers were real pioneers for what the NFL looks like today. Did you realize that in real time?
Not really. I
Mm,
mean, at that time I really didn't look at size in the NFL. It was only when we were talking about each other, calling each other short, and that's the time I realized it. But out there playing, well, I believe we played larger than life, bigger than
mm.
life. Um, Again, we were 5'7", 5'8", 175, 180 pounds, and we're not big, but we could play big. And as long as I mean, Joe Gibbs gave us the the um, the the techniques and everything to use, and we used it, and we practiced what we used, and it was great. Nowadays I don't know if the guys are really practicing their fundamentals, because fundamentals, they never get tired. The body of muscles may tire, but the fundamentals never tire. So if you're constantly working on your fundamentals, it could be first game, third game, 10th game, playoffs, or whatever. Those fundamentals don't change. They don't get tired. You just work on it. You just sharp. You just stay sharp with them if you are disciplined enough to stay with it.